So does he usually start it when you start? When you ask him to move, or right when he's in here?
No. He'll be a little bit, and then in the canter maybe he'll start getting a little bit
away. Okay. Have to train him to listen to body language. Boy. There it is. So one thing to help him out will be to acknowledge the try on the body language, because otherwise he's not listening to it. So that would mean when he looks at you, you've got to say thank you, and when that ear comes on, you've got to say thank you. So when you lunge, you're likely to look at the shoulder, but if you start looking at his eye, you'll be able to be there for him in greater detail. But if you look at the shoulder, you're going to miss that eye, and at least 13% of the communication system of the horse will be in that eye. So once he picks up that lead, once I use my eye, I can say thank you. Thank him even for not listening to, there we go, good man, for not listening to that firework. So you've got the great rhythm. I'm going to ask him not to necessarily get distracted over there.
Yeah.
So good rhythm, there we go. So in order to do that, I ask for a tad more forward motion. Now, once he starts listening to that eye, we'll ignore him over there. Here's some hints and tips how to best support you. But if you're missing that whisper in the eye, you'll miss how to truly communicate with it.
And I do feel, even when it goes lunging, he really looks your eye if I'm standing at the side there.
So he's asking to talk with the eye, but imagine if you're missing that, you're missing 15-20% of what he's saying. But if he can come to the eye, even there, look, up to stop him, because he's so damn big, could say, could you come closer, but could you stop there? Because if he jumps, he's a big boy. And he's already talking back. So the biggest thing with the horses, they're the most forgiving. Doesn't matter if they're 20 or 30, if you start talking with your body, they start listening, which is really neat. So I always compare it to me to say, if somebody had ignored me 1 to 20 years, I'm not sure because I've never lived it, but part of me would think, I'm done with that, I'm not going to continue trying. But they seem to look, are you the one? Are you the one that talks, which is really, really neat. And the more you talk, the more they then give. Don't posture. If you get big in front of their face, that's a challenging motion. So he postured because it is challenging. And the key is to get behind that neck and behind the shoulder before you ask them to leave. And here's an opportunity now for us to get our dialogue going. So what he will do is show me how you guys train. He'll show me that he's had, in my words would be side reins. It could be a different equipment, but you're going to see how he carries his neck, and he shows this is how we communicate. The ear locked on, you do it 100% of the time, and it gives you more of the character. And the character then says, look how easy he pays attention, and he's willing. This hand asks him to pick up the speed, and he takes the correct lead. I'm going to bring my eyes back, asking him to slow down, keeping the forward motion, but just the eyes. So instead of fading out in the center, where they fade out into the trot, you guys being dressage riders know this, but you don't fade out to go from a canter to trot. Head up. Head up. Yeah, well listen. Head up. Ask him to canter, and he just drifted for a moment. So if I keep that chin up at the canter, there we go. Man. And if I bring my chin down, sort of the Diana pose, he'll trot. Heading for a nice active walk at first. So that would be my head drop or my eyes drop. He's volunteering the canter, I'll take that. And then we can expand that and change it. So if my pelvis moves, attaboy, he should be moving quicker. I can thank him for that. If my pelvis locks, should change. Versus if I move. And he did. Really neat. So he's showing you the difference, and I'm certainly not a dancer, but I can make my pelvis move. If, that's too early. Sorry. If we take our eyes off to the hind, not only will he slow down, but because he's used to me looking at his eyes, that will cause his hind end to go away and ask him to face up. Wherever you put your eyes on his body, he'll respond. So in my instance, different, I didn't drag my eyes to say, come on in. I moved them to the hind end, which is asking him to yield. The world seems to think you drive a horse by watching his butt. You don't. I don't know where it came in, but everybody looks at the butt. And my famous quote is...
I used to do that.
Yeah, my famous quote
Changed
is...
today. No,
There's
yesterday.
no whisper in the butt. I'd say that everywhere. Because people look at the butt and I think, how funny, I do all tons of examples, how funny if I spoke to you like this the whole time. You know, looking at your butt in your private bed. We look at each other's eyes, and for driving purposes only, we look at a horse's eyes, just for driving, not for everything else. And you see, when you look at his eyes, he's looking for confirmation. What are you saying? What are you doing? And if he doesn't get that, he'd be one easily becoming a remedial horse because he's so smart, easily. So in the wrong hands, he'd either decline or fight.
But Anna, so you're looking at his eyes, but you're behind his shoulder with your body.
So my body, I'll show you another piece which is kind of really cool. Ready? So the left hand asks him to keep the nose straight, and he's still game. And I went, but he wants to go right. Okay, which way? Choose. Choose a direction. Not that direction. Okay, so another cool one we'll do.
The resting direction.
So we're sensitizing him a bit more, and if you use a whip, it's got an implied intent. It's not equal. It already puts you higher, and there's no need for that. And so the long line puts you equal, which means you learn to project energy, you learn to stay in the current time and nowhere else. With a whip, you can think about anything and pick up a phone. The horse has to do it. Now, if I put my chest ahead of him, that will block him. There's the energy on him. A little ouchy on time. There's the energy on him. The head blocks. If I'm this way, you'll watch him change because he's trying to figure out what he has to do. My chest is here, and that means stop.
In front of him.
Yeah. So you can block a horse by being in the driving zone, putting your chest ahead. And he's so sensitive. Stay there, bud.
But your body's behind his shoulder, but you're projecting
You're
from your shoulders like he's ahead
45
of him.
back, like that. Well done. 45 back, but if your shoulder is there,
Right.
you're blocking him.
Got it. Beautiful.
Your shoulder's here. So your energy goes here. That means your shoulders are there. You're behind the drive line, but you have to make sure your shoulders aren't blocking him. Like as soon as I do that, he comes, because he knows that that's a block. I don't know if they see energy or just feel it. I haven't got to that point. I'm sure they see auras, but I think they feel it. So in effect, imagine the laser beam saying stop. And so many people, when they're lunging, will keep their feet solid. And the only reason you hear me saying I wouldn't like lunging would be if it's done incorrectly. So if somebody just clips on, so there's tons of pressure there, say I hate it. Or if somebody stands in the center and doesn't move, not my deal. I like you to be interactive. So what that would mean is if you're standing here with a whip, that's got an implied intent. But if you're moving correctly, you're working as a coach. So it's like a physio coach, whatever that's. I've never had a personal coach. But if you had a personal coach, I'm working too. I'm talking to you the whole time. I'm bringing my energy up so your energy's up. I'm watching your eye to make sure we're on the same page. If I'm in the wrong place, I'll own that. If I'm in the right place, I'll own that too. And so my job as a horse whisperer is to, that's on your tooth somewhere. My job as a horse whisperer would be to figure out where's your drive line. How much are you working with the eye? How sensitive are you? Are they talking to you or are they not talking to you? Amongst everything else of what's your physical nature, are you fit, unfit, are you in pain, all of that as well, because if I can give that to say he is off more on the left, likely to be right-sided, although he's offering left quite well, then we can condition him in a certain way. If we realize he's looking for your intention in the eye a lot, then we talk with our eyes. If we realize he talks energetically, we should come in here alive and not quiet, because he deserves that. You don't.
How early on a call, working him free, you know, just letting him, trying to do what I thought it was good. So how early would you do that? Is
The
that
round pen, not before 2.
how,
Like your vet checks, the circle is too much for the bones, and you can cause long-term damage, so keep them out the round pen. On the arena, if it was enclosed anytime, because it's not on a tight circle.
so they can go straight? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And then the language that I'm saying today, from when they're young. It's a learned language, it's not innate, but they'll know it from when they're young.
Yeah, not having them trot or canter. You can do that language
In the arena,
or here, but not letting him go around.
yeah, don't do tight circles. Yeah.
But he really looks for your eye, Anna, right?
Yeah. So he's going to look for so the thank you's down, the block is there, the eyes back ask him to slow down, the eyes forward says could you slow down and keep going. I mean, you're seeing him spectacular. We're going to do a little
And
bit
he's never
more.
done this before. I mean,
Well, so here's the thing. What I'm not doing, I'm not training him. It's his language, and I'm using his language. So people often think that it's about training. He's never done it because I'm talking to him. So he doesn't have to learn it. And what makes the methods unique is the fact it's a dialogue. And all of this would be, that's a nice new shirt. All of this would be a dialogue to figure out who are you and how do you want to be trained, what's your history, and how do you like to be talked to. And if you realize you've got to align the mind, stay in the present time, it then helps you. We're going to do a few more things. We haven't shown you, thinking you're done. You ain't done, I've got to showcase you. Yeah. That's the first time he's talked me into being done. There's his right side. Perfect. But let's look at how he mimics as well. So in theory, because I saw him elevate earlier, in theory, attaboy, he should mimic quite nice. We're going to try a different thing with him. He'll come back down. I'm looking for him to elevate. Let's see if he works. There it is. Good job. Now bring him back down, and we'll try that again. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm telling him, elevate. Don't go up to the canter. Elevate. Attaboy. And I'll bring it down. So every time you bring it down would be the praise. To say, great, I just wanted the elevation. So we'll come up to the canter and hold it. Using a little bit more because he's had enough. We expand. A little bit of a faster one so you can see you can easily bring it down. Deep breath. Thank him for that canter. We now look for soft footfall. Good job.
What about that deep breath?
Say again?
That deep breath?
Deep breath, he'll watch. So it tells people, use your breath work. They can feel it. If I do another one, it's soft. And I'll thank him for listening to my breath. And what I'm telling him is I'm fully congruent. I'm using my breath on purpose. And I'm working with my body knowingly. None of this is a mistake. I'm talking to you fully and very mindfully. So when I do use my breath and I'm riding, I want you to feel that. So I'm telling him there's no such thing as chance. And so what that also means is when you're riding, you would be mindful of your body, mind, and spirit. We're gonna do, you never say one more thing. We're gonna do something else. You got this. This is a cool thing.
and you've never seen him before, Anna.
I told you it'd be fun to work with. Acknowledging that softening, he wants to once again show what he knows. He can have that moment. He's thinking, I'm going to bring him back to the trot with my mind. Tell him we're not looking for that right now. Acknowledge the fact he's listening to that thought. Bring in a little bit of energy towards the shoulder. think forward. Attaboy. So that's exactly the forward I'm looking for. Just think about that. Great forward. Now I'm going to say let's relax the body in my head. And he did. He's saying, is that all I need to do? Because he looked in. Going, no, let's keep going. I'm showing them how telepathy works. I'm going to ask him to do the 4 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to check in probably. I'm going to say, I'm really aware I'm asking you to do the walk. I'm not using the language so you don't think I'm using a word he understands. Then I can thank him and say, see, we're teaching them telepathy works. Okay. Up with the chin. Let's do that again. I think we're nearly done. We've shown everything here. Do another thing. Back again behind. Chin up. Turn through the center. Thank him for that turn. Good job. There's our forward motion. He's saying, are you wanting that canter? Are you sure about it? Absolutely. Breath work down. Eyes up. Left hand up. We'll do another turn through the center. Block on the left. Right hand motion. Thank him for that turn.
Block from the chest on the left.
I'll tell you in a second. I'm going to bring him down to the WALK by asking with my mind. And thank you for listening. And he portrays the language of Equus without a problem of any running. But I make sure I drive as I go. Now there was one time today I brought in the body, but the other times I didn't. So ultimately, don't nip me. Ultimately, you don't have a problem in the round pen.
So I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And now he's going to say, we're done. We're done, let's go. And then he has a point, and what I say what I also enjoy about myself. What I like is I can read the face, and then I go, okay, show me if I'm right on your face. Show me if all of that aligns with your facial features. And it does. It allows you to realize you guys want to go high with him in dressage. One, he's game. He's game mentally to do that. And he's looking to do it. Two, I think he would want the problem solving, but in a very clear way. And whoever rides him has to own it if it's their mistake. He's going to not like it if you blame him for something you guys did. His mind is exceedingly sharp. And he needs, the biggest thing I've emphasized a couple of times today would be the alignment. You've got to be aligned. Don't bring your baggage to this horse. So keep your baggage outside, keep it away, come in clear, take a few minutes to stop, then come in, know that you're aligned, and then he's going to be awesome. And that means you can then practice, I call it to be in the present time in the not too distant future. And what that means would be that you're holding a thought in the present time, but you're going a second ahead of it. So for example, I called it out loud where I said, oh, we're going to turn off the center here. So I'm in the present time, but then I'll have 1 second ahead, we're going to turn in and go across the center. So he'd be the type, when you're riding dressage, if you are not in the present time, he's going to find it a tad confusing. You're probably going to have to do something else because he'll feel the thought. But if you can hold the thought accurately to go at, I'm making letters up, I don't know, at B we're doing this, and you have it in your head, he's gonna
Know it.
He's gonna nail it.
When you work with a horse, your figure has something very outstanding, which is your hat. If you take your hat off, would you be able to do the same thing?
I have not done it with this hat before in my life.
No, and I watched your videos last night.
I try and do all my stuff with a hard hat, and it's a pain in the butt because for the world you have to portray a hard hat. So there is a degree of it. And then the other thing is I usually deal with problem horses, so it makes sense to wear a hard hat. I've never really worn cowboy hats.
I also agree that whatever, not only with him, but with every horse, you have to leave your baggage outside.
Yeah.
You have to leave your phone, your baggage, your everything. Get on a horse and work.
The bad energy
And work.
everything.
Your emotions.
Your emotions.
Yeah, that's his big thing. Of keep the emotions out there. And the whip, I didn't elaborate. The whip has an implied intent, so that means every horse knows what a whip means if they've had the whip used, and it would mean the crack or the tap. They're all going to move off of a whip. But you take a long line in, you have to be congruent. You have to be aligned. You take a whip in, it's not equal anymore.
Yeah, you're depending on it.
You're depending.
And the horse is depending on it.
Yes. And this is about me and you of, could we talk? And his first response was, I'm used to a whip. So he tells his story by saying, normally I have a whip. Okay, well, let's see if we can talk without it. And luckily, he did. And that's kind of neat.
That long line couldn't resemble a cowboy's lasso.
It can. And I just worked in Colorado where a cowboy screwed up 4 stallions, and my job was to mop up the mess.
He was using a lariat?
He dallied, he rode, he drug them. He drug 4 stallions. And I come in as a female and go, all right, let's fix what you did.
You used a long line?
Yeah.
And they didn't see an association between them?
I have to fix the association. So the association might mean the fact I'm going to hold that image of, I'm not going to use this inappropriately. I'm going to show you that I'm different. So every one, not the shirt, every one I do is a promise, and the promise is I'll never ask you what you can't do, and I'm never going to hurt you. I will always ask him things he might not be able, think he can't do, but I'm never going to hurt you. So that would be the big piece, the promise of it, right? Okay. You good?
Wow.
Well, I don't have
A
a hat.
little video clip.
I don't have
You
a
only
hat
to
with
bleep
me.
one word.
I don't have a hat with me,
Oh,
but I
it's
would take
for-
it off for you. It's really, it's amazing what you do.
Wow. I
Oh,
mean,
thank you.
Yeah.
Especially as you know him, it's more impressive when you know them and you
Oh,
go,
yeah.
well, we can't, or it's difficult. There's certain individuals that are sensitive,
Yeah.
right? And they don't always get on in the world. So the good news is he's found himself here. That's huge, because he's so damn sensitive, a lot won't make sense to him. So if you're coming in boldly, it wouldn't make sense to him why you said come with your eyes and he's not allowed to. It took him 3 seconds to figure out that I was talking to him. 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So he's so smart, but he's so sensitive that highly sensitive individuals, right? That's him, and they have a tougher time in the world.
So in other words, you've got to be real clear speaking one language.
yeah.
One language.
Otherwise, if your body's saying one thing, your eyes are saying something else, he gets
He's
confused.
confused.
Correct. So you've got to know where your pelvis is. You've got to align the energy. He's asking to leave. Are we good with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My
you're
God.
right. You can go. You can go.
Is that laser that's coming out of your solar plexus and your pelvis always on and always as strong, or you manipulate that?
Manipulate it.